Hello there, From17 once again. This is a little update video because I need to let some people know some pretty important things and to kind of explain some changes that I wanted to do on YouTube that are not going to be happening. And I know it's kind of like, you know, kicking people when they're down when you say changes that aren't happening, but I was really excited to share these changes, and I have mentioned them a little bit and teased them to try and get some excitement so that when they finally did come out it'd be important and people could get excited. And it's not going to be the case anymore, unfortunately. So YouTube has implemented this new algorithm that's content matching a lot of things, and it's already pretty much destroyed some of the live playthroughs that I had edited and uploaded that you've not even seen yet, guys, because anything with story in it, with music in it, with cutscenes in it is getting absolutely ram-raided. And it's kind of funny that the way I conducted myself on YouTube previously is I'm kind of immune in some ways to these content matches, because a lot of my content is the perfect kind of content to get away with them. And what I mean by this is I've always removed cutscenes, you know, I've always made it so that the gameplay was quite low beneath my own voice, you know. All the tenets of fair use were in effect, but it was extra so, you know. I adhered to this level of professionalism, and I actually planned to not do that anymore. I planned to change in 2014. I had big plans of, instead of doing straight walkthroughs, I was going to do playthroughs similar to my Final Fantasy one and my Saints Row one, where I would do the games blind. They would be first playthroughs, it would be live commentary with cutscenes and, you know, constant updates on what I was seeing and experiencing, and jokes and silliness and just the things that happen in my live playthroughs that you can't really simulate on a post commentary. And the reason for this is I've always viewed guides and walkthroughs as something professional and playthroughs as something more casual. And everybody has their own definitions of what these things mean, with terms like let's plays and, you know, people putting walkthroughs on their title for the single reason that walkthroughs get more views, which, you know, a lot of people do on YouTube. You know, there's a lot of politics that's behind it. But to me, I've always adhered to an integrity of a walkthrough is supposed to be supreme, and a playthrough doesn't have to be. That's kind of how I've always done things. And I was hoping to shift towards playthroughs, because people like to watch failures more than they like to watch success, and that's one of the things that I've learnt, and that's one of the more shocking truths of YouTube that I never really expected. They would rather watch somebody play a game not knowing what they're doing, getting frustrated, or doing silly things, or just being bad and having, you know, that group collective of superiority, rather than they do in awe of things. And I don't know if it's jealousy, I don't know if it's because the average age of people watching is lower, but playthroughs tend to do better. And I'm always looking at, you know, trying to help my channel. I'm always looking at something that might bring, you know, more people there and bring the people that are there more enjoyment. So I'm always constantly trying and striving to change and make things interesting. And it was more of a personal thing for me, because games are getting easier, we all know this, so walkthroughs themselves are not really that needed for some things that I've been covering, and I don't think there's anything more underwhelming than wanting a game to be challenging, finding it out it isn't, and then having to cover it anyway, just because you're adhering to this level of professionalism. So playthroughs can afford a lot of different things, and that's what I wanted to move for, but as it stands, it's just not realistic at all, because one of the best parts about a playthrough is the cutscenes, is the story, is the discovering the secrets, and without those important parts, which are the things getting flagged, a playthrough falls down, and it just can't survive without it. So I can't do it, guys, I can't change it, and I'm going to look into ways I can continue to adapt and spice things up, but the direction I wanted to take in 2014, now thanks to the new YouTube, is just not feasible. A, because I'm going to be putting in a lot of work that's not going to get viewed thanks to these matches, and B, because the videos just aren't going to work. So why bother, really? And it's not about money, it's not about, you know, getting tons of views, it's literally about making something that you can see. You know, it sounds silly, but the whole point of being a content producer on YouTube is that you're making things for people to watch. Not necessarily making things for people, but you're making things you think people would enjoy, that you want to put out there, and if someone else likes it, then that's an awesome thing, and you can get that little community going. And YouTube's effectively stopping you from being able to reach out to that community, and it's very, very sad. So I'm not going to try and you know, kick the hornet's nest, or, you know, stir the bull, or whatever you want to say. I'm just going to, you know, try to evolve in a different way to what I was planning. And I wanted to let people know, because I've been mentioning it a lot, people have been curious, and You know, there's no more definitive way to explain it than to do a video on it. So it sucks, but we'll continue to build, continue to get stronger. And as always, thank you for watching, and you take care now.